And where is the other mic? Oh, here, okay. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and we are welcoming you here back again in SIAS. And this roundtable about, I think it's very interesting topic, and I'm happy to have also females here because mainly I'll be biased. It's open toward women because according to number and researchers, they are mostly who are doing this unpaid job. I will not be judgmental from the beginning, as am I, okay? But the first thing, we need to know each one of us, if you can introduce yourself, where are you coming from? And are you doing any unpaid job or no? Yes or no?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Asila Owineza. I'm a communication officer here at SIAS, and I'm not doing unpaid job. Thanks God.
I will define it later. I want to see the definition of the people, then I will define it.
Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Mujamaria. I'm a student from University of Rwanda in the Department of Social Arts and Development Studies. So of course, I do unpaid jobs as I'm a housewife.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Benjamin Rusagara. I'm a visual artist, and I'm working right now in the Ngabo Art Museum as an artist associate. Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Yvette. I'm not doing any paid job. I have have some things I do personally, but no paid job yet. Looking forward.
Thank you. I'm called Providence Mujamaria. I come from Corpora NGO. I do both paid and unpaid jobs.
Aisa, where's the pointer?
Thank you. My name is Tase Haragirimana. Come from Edi Connect Rwanda. Mostly I do both. Like my sister says, just it depends on the situation. But more likely I do unpaid job. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Muhirwa Rabosco, and I am from EduConnect Rwanda. Sometime I volunteer. I do unpaid job and paid ones. Both.
Thank you. My name is Issa. I'm working here at SIAS as a project manager. Everything I do, I'm paid. Even apart here from SIAS, everything I do, I'm paid. I do not do unpaid jobs. Thank you.
Are you sure? I'm sure. No?
I will explain.
Okay.
I know.
No, because the payment is in different way.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Mushimimana. Yes, I do some paid job, others are not paid, yeah. Yes, okay, thank you.
Because you are my wife, I do a lot of unpaid job. So.
Okay, so what's your name?
Mohammed.
Okay, all right, okay. So paid and unpaid job, it's like a very interesting dilemma and topic that we always speak and talk about it. Some of us doing a lot of it and we are not aware of. Some of it we calculate the payment in a different way, and some of us thinking on it in different way. And even governments think of it, nowadays differently. I believe that here even women in Africa are always in double jeopardy when it comes also to unpaid work. You can see how they are doing lots of other rules and obligations they have. And here also I need to differentiate between what is the biological rules that we do and what are the cultural rules that they put it on women or men, and we have to do it either we are paid or unpaid. And here, for example, when a woman brings a birth, this is a biological rule. We are not negotiating this rule that it's a job that a woman should be. But feeding the children, bringing them up, dressing them, taking them to school, there is no any religion or something that say that this is a woman role. Right or wrong? But most of the cultures, they keep these rules as it is woman rule, and it should be unpaid, and it goes yani, without saying, for granted that this is her role. She's not doing it. So, but even unpaid job, it goes for lots of things. We do it in-house, outside the house, in our volunteer works, in our day-to-day life, and lots of other things. And we can't replace, I will start this with a statement that they say we can't replace our unpaid work. If we want to replace it, the continents need billions, more than 200 billion to replace these unpaid work. If every volunteer going to be paid, if every mother looking after her children will be paid, if all the works, that means the governments and they need lots of money of this. So the governments and the continents are in need of these. We just want to count them so we will not be behind by some people doing unpaid job and some people get paid for the job. And here where the unfairness come. I mean, we all need to do unpaid job because we learn from it, but we need to make sure that we do it with equity, all of us in an equal way. This is the life of a woman. How many arms a woman have a day? Well, I always say that woman life, yeah, it's very difficult to give this talk when my husband is here. Woman life is always juggling. You need to juggle with everything, right or no? Right, okay. It's nice when you hear the voice of...
You don't have to say, choose not to say not right.
Okay, so we can see how women are juggling this. Let us make it more official in numbers. Men are also doing unpaid work and they have unpaid hours. If we see according to the developing regions, women do unpaid work almost 4.5 an hour a day, while men do it 1.5 hour a day. While in developed region, if woman is doing still 4.5 hours per day unpaid job, the men are doing 2.5 hours per day. That means that it's less gap. The gap here between developed and undeveloped countries is the difference between the men working unpaid job, not between the women. Women all around the world, there is agreements that they are doing more unpaid job, but here where we need more men to support also these unpaid job, because this can be transferred to money and economy of each and every country. Yes. Yes, I wanted to put this, then I will open the dialogue. You want one by one? Okay.
I doubt these statistics. For example, women in Africa, I know they are working much more than that.
Yes, yes, I will go for Africa. Now, this is the median of the countries. Then I'm coming also for the sub-Saharan. Yes. Okay. If I go even by week, still you will see the difference between men and women. Okay, working in these unpaid job. If you go for overall, okay. This is the calculation.
Yes, I want to see how they calculated that.
I will give you. If you want all the calculation, also I have that. Okay.
So, for example, he said 1 hour.
If we go first for women.
We'll go for women, yes.
Okay. They go for volunteer or charity work. And here also I need to explain this. Men also do volunteer work. Men do the volunteer work in political NGOs that will help them to go to parliaments, get positions, these things. Women, when they do volunteer work, they work with people with disability, they work with elderly, they work with community. They work with less agenda, they work with more sympathy. Men, when they go for the volunteer work, okay, that's why you can see in lots of political parties, men are more than women, and they do this voluntarily. but because there are other agendas. And even in the professional associations, like engineers associations, lawyer associations, I think you have a lot of this. You will see more men members are there. While when you go for women NGOs, NGOs for poverty, NGOs work with people with disability, with AIDS, you see more women working there. And correct me if I'm wrong.
We can't dare to say.
No, I wish I am wrong.
This is general perception. It's not.
No, this is numbers by studies.
We can't really make judgment. For men, the only thing that we are good, I think, is volunteer work. And
Yes.
that one, you are depriving us from that. They are saying men, is they are going for a bad intention.
Not bad intention. To have an agenda doesn't mean it's bad intention, but you are more focused than what you want in your career life. While women, they are making her busy and lots of other.
In Rwanda, you see, right? But many women now are very active in politics.
Yes.
You see
Because of the,
Yeah.
Yes, women, I mean, we know that the percentage of women in parliament, it's one of the highest in the world in Rwanda. Okay.
In local government.
Okay, and local government because of your laws and regulations. That's pushing them. But still you can see also women in these unpaid job. Do you want to say anything before I continue? If you want to, you want me to finish what I want to say and then we discuss it, or if you want to interrupt? Okay, okay. اي عادة بس عادة تعطي فرشة بعدين في طريقتين. Okay. Do you want to say anything on this issue?
I suggest you can continue and we give our ideas.
Okay, this is men point of view, woman one point of view. Okay, all right. Okay. So, and here I'll continue to prove it with different number, different statistics. Here, this one, it's very interesting because it's showing what Dr. Muhammad, he was saying according by regions, where women work in unpaid care and men working in the unpaid care per hour, and the blue line, it's the gender gap. So Rwanda is in the SSA, the Sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, what you can see if we focus now on the Sub-Saharan countries, you can see difference than the other continents of the world. The world or UK or MENA region where I come from. Yes.
We see that with Saharan African, we see that the women's time devoted to unpaid care work is higher than any other region.
Yes. Women, it's higher. And
yeah, compared to men. The hours for women for unpaid work is higher than men. And
yes,
gender gap is getting
high.
higher.
Yeah, it's not the highest. The highest we can see it's in the South Asia. Okay, but it is also considered very high. I mean, any country want to be more developed. Okay, if we count the other regions, you can see the less gender gap. So there is a strong relation between having gender gap, between the paid and unpaid job, and between how country can be developed, because how the resources are not really very counted. And this is how we should even work on it when we are dealing with the upbringing our next generations, children, and other things. And these are numbers from 2019. It was exactly before COVID. With the COVID time, they say even all these numbers were increased for women, and the gender gap, it was even worse. But I took the best number here. So you don't tell me that I am biased. So we can see all over the world, we have 16.4 billion hour daily women are working on unpaid job. And these different continents. So you can see why we are saying that the country, if the world wanted to pay these women these hours, they should spend billions of dollars out of it. We can see that they are not doing a normal job. This picture is from Mali. As Dr. Mohammed is targeting to go to Mali, I wanted to show him that how women work there, the unpaid job. It's not even, and even in, I know in Rwanda, I've seen a lot. It's not like a normal. We can see that lots of countries that we go, the poor country, where they don't send their girls to schools and they have to go bring the water and carry it, and they spend full day, 5 hours, just carrying water from where it is to the other place. Of course, if I'm talking about the unpaid job, I always need to compare it with the paid job. So I'm saying if I spend more hours in unpaid job, I will have less time to work in the paid job. So then the person who's working less, he will be more in the unpaid job. And here where I want to hear from you more about this dialogue. So if we see the labor force here, we see that in the labor force, men are around the world 77%, while women are normally 50%. It goes higher and lower in different regions. Why they are less? Not because they are sleeping at home, okay? Because they are doing other jobs. We are not counting it as a paid job, so that's why it will not appear in the labor force. And this is translated by hours, translated even by money. Why men have more money? They own more lands, they own more houses, they own more things, because they have more time to do these paid jobs, while women were doing the unpaid job. That's mean even they will have less money for them, and this is going to affect their quality of education, positions, and everything. So, and even nowadays, even if we will talk about the 50% of women who are working in paid job, even when they are doing their paid job, they have to look after the unpaid job that they used to do. Okay, so for example, if the man earning is always, if a man earning $1, that means the woman is earning 70 cents. Always men are paid more than women, because whoever is paying thinks that men are giving more time, because woman is giving some of her time for the unpaid job. Okay, nowadays governments are giving more paternity leave. I mean, we used to give maternity leave and we used to get now more paternity leave. How many paid maternity leave you have for mothers here in Rwanda?
It was 3 months.
Okay.
3 months, but now they extended to 5 months.
5 months for mothers. And how many months for men? We don't have paternity leave. Yes. Now, this is what differentiates you with the other high rank countries where men get also paternity leave. Yes, like back home, the men get 3 days. I don't know why they do. Just to go and get the certificate, do the passport working.
It's not even considered as paternity leave, but someone should ask for a leave.
Yes.
It's not considered as paternity leave. Like if your wife gave birth and you find that you have a lot of things to do, you should ask for 3 days of leave on your personal, but it's not guaranteed.
On your personal balance, not this one. So of course, with the list, I mean, the government can do more. How can we reduce this paid and unpaid job? We need to have these policies that will help us, doctor, in reducing this. Are you willing to take care of your children when they were younger? If you're
Used to, even now, I can cook for them. But
okay, did you change
sometimes-
diapers? Did you change their diapers?
Yes.
From which age?
I'm not totally Rwandan culturally, man. We are trying to change, And I learned a lot when I was studying in Belgium. One of my colleagues told us, I was absent yesterday when the lecturer asked him, why were you absent? He said, I took my child to vaccination. We all African men laughed. Say, wow, what did you tell your
And this
kids?
is taking to vaccination. It's not changing diapers.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's even like little
Yeah.
bit.
But sometimes I do it maybe 10% times compared to my wife. Yeah.
Wife doing
Yes, yes, yeah.
this example.
Yes.
So are you married or single? Huh? Married. You have children? Okay, mashallah. Okay, so tell me how many hours your wife spent with them and how many hours you spend with them.
Sincerely talk, my wife spent little time with my children because she is the one who have a great job more than me. So a lot of time, around 80%, I'm with my children. I change
Give them applause.
I change diapers, I feed them, and they know me more than my wife because she's somehow busy more than me.
Okay.
A nurse.
She's a nurse.
A nurse, yes. Okay. Okay, and around the world it is changing, but still we can say around the world it's much slower still. To close this gap around the world, okay, if we really want to be more developed, we want to do more better things for our countries, we need to speed up closing these gaps between men and women. We should not be shy, we should be proud when we say that, yes, I'm doing this job for them, for my, because you are not doing the job for your wife. Some people, they think, yes, I am helping my wife. Okay, is this the right vocabulary? No. Okay. He's taking care of his own children, that they are children for the men and women. Okay, we shouldn't think if I cook today, Dr. Manawati say, sometimes I help her and I cook. Okay, it's not I'm helping her and I cook, because at the end of the day, both of them are eating. Okay, so so even the way we are defining ourselves, and woman, she will not say, I'm helping my husband and I'm cooking. I was not paid today because I was cooking. I came from my job. I was appraised with a working woman, and I know my mother used to wake up early before my dad. She prepared for the food at the morning and minerated the food that she's going to cook. So when she comes, the first thing she put it in the oven, she changed and she do these things. This juggling life of women that I was talking about. So yes, we need to know that if I'm carrying these unpaid job, it's not always I am helping the other part. I'm doing also my roles and a duty, even towards my own house, my own community, my own country, because if he take care of his children, then the children are going to be a better generation for him when he grow up, better generation for this country. They are going to be a good youth, good people tomorrow when they go and work. So it's not he's doing it for someone else and see, I'm doing this for you and it's nothing for me. Because what can happen sometimes with the pressure now and the inflations, women go to work, and if the man is not there to support, maybe the whole generation will get lost. No one will be looking after these children. Then in the long run, both of them are going to be affected, men and women. It's not only if I go to work and I don't look after my children as a woman, that it's going to affect women. And here where we need to be careful in counting the paid and unpaid job. And here where we need to redefine the responsibilities. What are the responsibilities we do that are paid and unpaid? And what are the responsibility we are doing because culturally they think that this is a woman role. And even in the communities for men, there are lots of also unpaid roles that we think that men are doing for in smaller villages when someone have a problem and all the community go and help this person. Is this a paid job or unpaid job? But is it affecting our communities in a positive way or negative way?
Positive.
Okay, why? Why we think it's helping our communities in a positive way?
Yes, the works that men are volunteering in the communities are helping the communities to develop on the level that otherwise, if they could be paid, could be some money that is being spent on the cost of the work. So by providing with voluntarily, by participating voluntarily in these community works, it helps to develop the community. And
But not themselves.
actually, if the community develops, that means that you're going to develop at the same time as the community.
Yes.
So which
Because-
otherwise could be like for some money or for some paid jobs.
Yes, because I need to make sure if I got developed, my children got developed, then my community also is going to be. Because if I keep them in an area that we are not supporting each other and the whole community also is not developing, I will not benefit from it. The only way, either I go and migrate to another place, and that's not good for me and for my country and for my community, or I need to support myself and support also others so I can be able to improve others. And why I should appreciate doing unpaid job and helping, for example, my neighbors in my neighborhood, because another time maybe I'll have a problem and then also they will be ready to support me. So we shouldn't underestimate or undervalue these unpaid jobs. We don't want to get rid of these unpaid jobs from our community. We don't want to be in a community that I will be paid for every single thing that they are going to give me. For example, if I tell Aysa, now give me this water, I don't want him to say, no, are you going to pay me if I give you this bottle? Or you should go and get it by yourself. We don't want to be treated like this because in another time, we will support in another way. Maybe not the same person, but another person will come and support. We want to keep the values. Now, the difference between us and some of the Western countries, that they want to get rid of the unpaid job, replace everything with a paid job, but this is reducing the values there. And this is what we don't want. We know that in lots of other Western countries, if someone in the middle of the road, they got accident and they don't have health insurance, people will leave him in the road and they will walk. Oh, someone should come. One of the people who are paid, like the hospitals or ambulance, should come and take him. I'm not going to take him. But if this happened here in Rwanda,
No. No, African culture, including Rwanda, we have what you call Ubuntu philosophy. And Ubuntu that requires to help each other. If you find a sick person here, I have to stop and ask, why is he sleeping in the street? Most of the case. Yes. And I remember when we were abroad in Europe, an old man fall down. Everybody was going. But me and another man from Burkina Faso took him as Africans. That is unique for Africans. We took him and stopped a bus for him to go home. And it is rare for people abroad to help each other. We Africans, we still have that heart. Even though we see some cases here, a person sleeping, nobody cares. But generally, we have to intervene and ask why.
yes. So we want to make sure when someone is talking to us about this unpaid job, we don't want to make it a paid job. We don't mean this. We want to keep these good values. It's good to learn from the Western what is good, but we don't want to replace what we have because otherwise we are going to be something, we are not going to be like the Western and we are not going to be ourselves and we are going to be lost in the middle. And this is what's happening to lots of countries after colonization, that they are lost in the middle. They are neither Western and they've lost the values. Whatever it's good in our communities, we should keep it. We do unpaid job we want, but we want to balance it in a state of women doing all this unpaid job. We want to share it together, men and women as communities, to do this unpaid job. So she will also have time to go to work and improve herself. I want to hear a little bit from you. What do you think?
We need to consider everything, like a behavior or a culture. Of course, what you are saying is right. We have a problem of being corrupted, if I can say so, mindly. We are not able to keep what we have as values. I don't know why, but I think it's related to the level of education. For everything to be done right, we need to be educated. Even if he has said that in Rwanda everything is being well driven, more women in well-paying jobs, but I think it's mostly in the urban area rather than in the rural areas. So we still have a lot to do also, considering that most of the Rwandan people are living in the urban areas. So in terms of mobilization, sensitization, even the government on its side, improving the policies, also implementing them in the right way. So I think what you are saying, we need to learn more to keep that can help the community and the society. Generally.
Exactly. Yes, you can give it to her.
I've learned of some issues in Burundi. There are some incidences where, like, the president gives examples of people picking trash on the road and making tunnels. He puts on these big boots, and then they do photographs and everything. But I don't think that the president should be the one to give the example, but the citizens should have this kind of heart of being motivated to clean up the country. It's an unpaid job, either for men or women. Uh, Yet still there is a gap between people wanting to show, to take pictures doing that, but individuals, the nation doesn't have policies and programs for doing such unpaid job, because they leave the country all dirty, all messed up, trash all over. And here in Rwanda, we have Muganda, and it's one of the unpaid jobs for all women and men. And it's an occasional, it's an opportunity for people to look after their community and the environment and the surroundings.
Exactly. I think Rwanda have lots of good example of these unpaid jobs that really help community and trying to make these equity between men and women. I mean, like the Muganda, where really men and women they work. And for me, I can't say Muganda it's really unpaid job because men they get half day off of their work to do this work. While women, they keep the work in the home, they do the omoganda, and then they go and continue doing the other works in home. Do you agree or no? I can see you're laughing. Okay, they will.
So I can say yes, but not yet. The way of doing umuganda through the community, we are supposed that each and everyone who are responsible to participate in it, they participate by 3 in 3 without expecting any profit. But sometimes people then honestly sometimes Rwandans they don't take as how it is designed. Most people they skip it because they say that I don't get anything through there. And for example, if people having a household, it's hard for both to participate at Umuganda at the same time. This shows that even if we believe that Muganda are not unpaid, the philosophy of intervening in this activity is somehow really complicated.
I think you wanted to say something.
Okay, thank you. But I want to raise the questions about those unpaid jobs for like how like an African or individuals here, like men and women, can manage the trade-off, like the financial stability and the experience that's got from that unpaid work. Like how that's woman or men can do that unpaid job and get financial stability.
How they can get financial stability. I mean, this is the only way that women, I mean, maybe I'll go back to what she said when she was saying the gap between urban and rural areas. And we can't say when I'm talking about Rwandese women or even in any country or region, when I say for this country, the women are like this, we can't put them all in equally because there is a difference between the higher educated women, less educated, urban, rural, being supportive. But for example, if I take women in urban areas, how did she get support to get, I mean, we know women around the world are having more higher positions, heading countries, ministers, member of parliaments. They get support from other workers. They bring a woman from low paid areas, rural areas, to help them and supporting and doing these roles, taking care of the children, doing the cooking, doing the other job, so they will be able to go and work. Okay, we can't say that this is, in some economics, thinks that this is also good for the economy because it's generating money for other women from lower income areas. But instead of putting this finance and paying for another one, here when we are having a supportive partner, like his example, he would support in taking the care. So the money that they can give for another carer were kept for the improving of the family. Okay, I will give you for example. Now, if I say in my home, I will do the unpaid job, the normal cooking and things. I will not go to my work in the university and I teach. Okay, my salary, it's a high salary in university as a professor in the university. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, I worked hard for it. But if I say, okay, I don't want this job and I want to do the normal job, the unpaid job, it's not bad, but how much I'm going to lose? And the economy is going to lose, and even the country. I got sponsorship, scholarship to go, and the government paid money for tuition, for my tuition and my family, even when I was earlier, for me to get educated. If I leave all this and I just continue to do the normal jobs, that means all this money was gone on the trash. No one was used it. That's why what we see, lots of women retire earlier because they get this pressure of the paid and unpaid job, and they also want to keep their family. It's not this less valuable, but then all this money that were spent on their education, by themselves, by their family, by their governments, is going to be wasted. So also we need to count on this. I mean, the governments are sending me and him to the education. The government is spending money. But then after they were educating him for free for 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, whatever he was educated, he will work for 20 years. That means he's returning it back. But if I was educated in my government for all these years, and then after I only work 5 years, I feel pressurized, and I go back and I stay at home because I can't find the supportive partner with me, and I have lots of unpaid job. That means all the money that the government have spent in educating me have gone. Yes, and the drainage. So we need to count it this way. I mean, there is a, if I spend more time in an unpaid job and I will not have time to do the paid job, everyone is the loser. Not only me, I will get less paid and my family. And even the ability to utilize what I've learned. I mean, what I learn in education, it's memorizing it. How I really learn from it when I apply it. If I will not work and I will have not chance to apply what I've learned, also there is a waste. So we always also, when we count the paid, unpaid, and we also count the waste there. How the waste is coming. I don't know if I answered you. I think he wanted to
Like the
say
question
something.
was like to manage that trade-off. Yeah,
How to manage it?
yeah.
It's to have good examples like him.
Okay.
Okay? So we need to change our mindset. We don't underestimate when a woman coming from the work very tired, and then she continue of doing cooking, taking care of this. We shouldn't underestimate this. What we do, yeah, this is her duty. She should do this. And let's her, she wants to go and work, let her go and work. This is how some supportive men they do. They allow their wives to go and work, but then they want also all the other duties to be done. Yes.
I just want to add about what you say. You say that that money that we spend on that house helpers, you say that we can just use it for another things. But the fact is this one: if I have 3 children, just managing them, just I want to take care of them. I want to cook for them. But what about just cleaning the house or just washing clothes? It's not easy to do it all of that three. So that money we spend on the households, it is it is to help me in another things so that I can take care of my children rather than just cleaning and just cooking. So the babies are still young, are still young. I have to take care of them just by just giving them a clear behavior rather than just going to cook for them or just clean the house. So that money that we spend on them, on the maids or house helpers, it is somehow not going into the trash. No,
Yes.
it has to be there and spent on them.
Utilize. And even having children, I mean, I know lots of Western study says, no, this is children abuse, a child shouldn't be working or something. But even how we upbring our children, if they take care also of themselves, they also support without taking them out of education. I'm saying on their spare times, on their summer times. We found in a study that Dr. Muhammad, he was working on about how we get yani, measures of inspiration. Kids who work with their families at home and they carry responsibility, they are more inspiring students. Okay, so it's just how we remanage and we redefine and how we rearrange our schedules and works and duties at home. This will help a lot our economy, as he was asking. I mean, we want to keep these, if we paying for all these unpaid jobs, we said it's a lot. We want to keep it because they are good values. So what is the formula here? It's that we need all to share this unpaid job. And here we're different country, we're doing it in a different way in different generations. I think you want to add something.
Thank you. What I wanted to add was that these unpaid jobs I appreciate that he takes responsibility for all the discipline for the children and everything, but to also reduce the manual work done by the house help. There's some materials that we do not have in Rwanda, like let's say, for example, the washing machines.
Exactly.
Yeah, in Rwanda, we just manually wash, but outside they have washing machines, and it's quite easier with vacuum cleaners that can easily do the mopping and the cleaning. But in Rwanda, for him to be able to have that time for himself and the children, at least the house should be clean, and then having cleaned the house, then it's easy to discipline the children and to show them the right path, the right way to live and the right manners. So the challenge still remains the socioeconomic issues with the distribution of cleaning materials for substituting some of the work that is manually done.
Yes, and there are lots of studies showing that how technology really helped working women and gave her more time to go and work, and then she had less time to do this unpaid job. Of course, the more technology, but also we should also appreciate the situation of each and every country and how different they are. I'm saying, so even if I have a washing machine that will reduce the time of the washing, and instead if I do it with my hand with 1 hour and a half, I will do it in a machine and it will take for me like 10 minutes. But here, it's 10 minutes or 1 hour. Here we go to the principle. Who's going to put it? If me and my husband are going to share this, he will do the washing once and I'll do it once. Now, regardless, it's 1 hour or 10 minutes. So it's not about if I have the technologies, but the mindset didn't change, okay? Because even with having technologies and other things, other jobs also come into each and every household. It's the mindset that he's willing to share with me this unpaid job or no. Here also we need to think about it. The more support we have, it should be for both of us. Now, in some countries, that's even, I mean, these technologies are there, but more expensive. Some men are not willing to spend some of money on buying this technology because they are not calculating the time that woman is giving for this. What, it's just an easy job, you can do it. You've only cleaned this, you've only ironed this, you've only washed this. Underestimating these unpaid jobs, it's the most harmful thing from my point of view. I don't know what if you want to add. She's next to you. Yes.
What you're saying is right, and I think it's the mindset. So men of Africa think that there are jobs for women and there are jobs for men. So I don't know how we should change their minds, because it's very rare to know or like to find a man changing diapers for kids or cleaning the house. So he should think that the cleaning is for women, and maybe fixing some doors and some broken things is for men. So it's a journey. It's a journey. We need to do more education. We need to do more awareness on men is taking responsibilities other than women. What you said is right. So they think that cleaning the house is not a work because it's not paid, or they don't consider the time you spend for that. So they don't give value for what domestic houses is value.
This should be done without saying. They take things for granted.
So, but it also deal with, I think mindset is the first major because some of them are not having that financial capacity to buy these technology tools to use, but they should put in their minds that they have the same rights, men and women. They should do the same work, domestic work, as you said. You don't say it's a favor to somebody. It's our responsibility. We should all of us take the responsibility.
It's a cultural shift. It was not bad by then.
It was
I
bad.
think,
What?
but
I didn't hear the first part. What?
it was not bad that women and men should have different responsibilities. But the culture changed and the society changed. But I think it was worth it. Yeah. Before we couldn't have the mind that the son or a boy should go in the kitchen to cook. No, it would be like awkward. If my neighbors come and see me cleaning the compound, they can either say this man became crazy, or maybe the wife poisoned him so that he became stupid and be a houseman just at home. Yeah, I had that mentality too because I knew to cook when I was in almost graduating at the university. I couldn't cook until I reached university. Yes. And one day I had to cook for my mother who was in hospital, sick of diabetes, of course. And I bought fish
And burned it.
and boiled it like it is without removing the this. I took the soup and fish to the hospital, and my mother laughed. She knew what was going on, and
I'm glad she didn't get poisoned, became worse in the hospital.
yes, he said, I will drink a little soup and maybe some fish, but it is my mistake. I didn't teach you how to cook until you become man. But nowadays, my kids have to learn how to cook. Yeah. I struggled with my wife personally, who was teaching my sons to clean dishes and cook, which is good now. They can manage. Yeah, and it was a new culture. But because we've changed, the society is changing. Before it was understandable because there was some activities that my sisters also cannot do. For instance, keeping cows, cattle. For instance, if I'm there, they cannot do that. Fetching water, for instance, heavy things, or cutting wood, and those are the responsibilities of men also. Yeah, and boy. But now we are mixing it, and our society is giving it value now. Even in laws, in Rwandan law, when a man and a woman divorce, we don't wish any kind of divorce, but they have now to count 35% of the whole economy as an paid job salary, and they have to share that. Now
Yes.
it is written in the laws now in Rwanda.
Okay,
Yes.
about the unpaid.
Yeah, so the unpaid job now are calculated when once there is an issue of separating the financial or property. Yeah, they count the percentage of unpaid job. Thank you.
And maybe the point he was saying, that's also the upbringing, how a woman is upbringing her children. This is how we can break the chain. We change the mindset.
That's the society norm.
Yes. And we need, okay, listen to him and then we'll get back to you. Yes.
What I want to add is just it is about that kind of feeling that you are a man, that you cannot do such things. Nowadays generation, let's take an example of me and my colleagues. When we married, we used to have a kind of mentality that say that we should not do this and we should not do this, that. But by time, when we get somehow unemployed and our wives just having a job, so we found out that what was just certain in our minds are not what we have to do. We have children, so if a wife is not at home, you will not just sit and see your children in the eyes. So you have to do something. You have first to learn how to change the diaper so that a baby just can feel somehow good, right? So this kind of generation we are just in, it is somehow changing. Things that is changing. All of us, We are just changing the diapers. We are just cooking for them what they want. So it is a kind of time. By time you learn new things in family. So you don't have to rely on your selfishness or on your what. You change mind by time. If you see the children mind or just somehow develops. If you see just your children, your mind just develops completely. So nowadays, if those who have in such age are just doing something which is not just helping his wife or her wife, it is a mental somehow illness. Because just helping her, it is you are just helping yourself and you are just helping your family. So that's by time and when you have a children, you develop yourself.
Exactly. We will first listen to her. I think you were saying that it's not women who can break this chain. It's the culture, yes.
In fact, to his question, as my colleague mentioned, it is a matter of time to change things because that's how the patriarch communities work. It's the only problem that remains. I got surprised one day. I didn't know that casual workers in construction, those who help the engineers, we call them abayede in Kinyarwanda. If they are girls or women, they are paid less than boys and men. Yes,
I didn't know that.
I realized it. I was surprised and I was shocked too, because they said I tried to ask why don't you pay them as you pay the others? They said they don't perform the same work. So, but it's an injustice. That's being unfair. So I'm trying to show that we still have those problems everywhere, though little things are being changed. That's why I stressed on education. And maybe we don't realize the impact of these gender issues, but it's a matter of letting women being economically empowered. If I can give an example, God forbid, but if it happens that the breadwinner dies, I mean a man in the house where the wife does not work the paying job, if a man dies, you can see directly the change in the family, in the narrow family, not the extended one. And we can't forget that in our culture, we are used to help each other. When you are working, you don't look at your children and your wife. You look at your siblings, your parents, everyone in your family has an eye on you, at you. So I think we need to consider this issue as a big one and don't say that things are being changed only that, but also the government need to emphasize and stress being in the policies so that we can see a big improvement. Yeah.
Exactly, and equal payment, it's يعني another topic that we can talk about it. It's all in all countries, and I always say that women have this glass ceiling, and maybe that's why the number saying that we can see women rates in employments are less, they have less access to decision position makings with lots of things. Even when the governments, they have laws for equal payment, but the hidden agendas are there because they always think that women performance are less because they are busy with other unpaid jobs.
Thank you. By the way, just help me to thank God. My daughter passed exam, national exam heavily, and she was offered a very nice school, Seven Sodom House. That's a very nice school. She will be studying biochemistry and So I am thankful to God for that. Yeah. Yes. And in addition to the topic we have, nowadays we have to be used to unpaid job. By the way, as Isa was saying, there is no job which is not paid. But it depends on the payment we are talking about, financial or whatever. But this time, as we are cutting the chain of old culture, we are heading to the new culture. It was a taboo for a Rwandan woman, for instance, to clean her mother-in-law, for instance. Yes, yeah? To meet mother-in-law, clean her, wash her, it was a taboo. But this time, things are changing. Sometimes a woman like her can take care of a grandmother, no other choice because life changed. And sometimes have to break the chain of cultural taboos, for instance. In our Rwandan culture, for instance, it was a very big taboo for a father-in-law to sit with daughter-in-law or maybe son-in-law to eat together with mother-in-law. It was a taboo, very taboo. But now we are cutting the chains. You can go to the hospital and wash your father-in-law who is maybe 80 or 90 in hospital. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. You can't? No, you have to. You can do that. Yeah. You don't think so? But those are kind of changing culture. Unpaid jobs also have to be related to the changing culture, perspective, mindset change. Yes, and for instance, what you mentioned about women who are helping construction workers, we still have that problem of gender in terms of sector. Two sectors mainly, transport and construction. These are sectors that are still discriminating women in Rwanda. And the new research that we are conducting is to see how we can balance at least transport sector and the construction sector. The women face sexism and even misogyny. And misogyny, I think you know it, I think.
Yes.
Those who don't know, misogyny is like a cultural hatred against women indirectly. Yeah, indirectly. And sexism is taking women as sexual tools always, and even this disturb their work actually. Disturb their work if a woman present herself and everybody is staring or need her contact to call her later. That is sexism also. Yeah, these are so bad things. We have to cut this cultural burden. Yeah, and see how we can balance, of course, gender equity, but also with relaxation of women in their work regularly. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, you had something to say.
Yes.
Construction.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's true. Some women they do get paid less, but I cannot say that it's a culture that is there in the construction department, like all women that have started in this work. Let's for instance start like from 8 a.m. in the morning, like women who are already on the spot with this counterparts and men counterparts, and they have to go until 11, they are going to be paid the same. But when it comes now to those women who can come later, maybe like 9:30, obviously they will get paid less. So what she said is true. Is true. I am not like not agreeing with her, but it's not a culture that it's not a must like a woman who already arrived at the same time as men that are going to be paid less. Yeah, but we still have to consider their work
Yes, but also we need to know why women are coming late, because she's doing unpaid job. And I always give this example, but I don't know, yeah, maybe it will not fit a lot. Rwanda, you don't have lots of smokers here, right? I say women, when she go out from work for 1 hour to feeding their children and come back in these 2 hours, lots of employees get frustrated. They say women are working less because if she have a children, she goes an hour earlier or she come later because of this role. While men always, because for example, we are in countries that they are not allowed to smoke in the building, they have to smoke outside. You can see them during the working hours 2 to 3 times minimum. They go out, they smoke and come, they smoke and come, and this is not counted as if they are leaving their job. While when a mother come an hour later because she was doing another job for the that she have to do her duty, it's counted. Yes, she is coming later, she's working less, so she need to be less paid.
Leave alone the construction, the maid. Even even the other jobs, so public or private. If it was not the policy that promote the inclusion, they wouldn't wish to hire women. Mostly women. If they think she will have time to get pregnant, she won't, she will need that leave, maternity leave, long one. No one needs to hire them. They only respect the policies that protect them.
Yes. And this is fact worldwide by numbers. And it's not something she's saying about Rwanda or I'm saying about Bahrain or one country.
Nowadays in Rwanda, every employee pay for women leave. Actually,
Yes, by policies. I mean,
so that's
yes.
an obligation.
Yeah,
You
and
don't
they.
know those women.
You remember when the parliament you remember
How much?
Okay.
previously, I think in 5 years back, the parliament has enacted a law when they said that if someone gave birth, if she wanted to be paid fully, she would have taken a leave of 1.5 months, not 3 months. Yes, the one who wanted to be paid fully, she looked for someone to replace her, that she should pay herself.
Okay.
But it changed.
Things gotta change. Okay. So you wanted to add something?
I wanted to add on what she said because Dr. Emmanuel was saying that like everyone has to pay the maternity leave. She was saying that if it's not a policy that is promoting this law, no one could pay the woman maternity leave. So I wanted to emphasize on this because they're still complaining that if you hire a woman, she's taking much time of leave than the time she's getting to work. Um, of course, like if you are doing business, you should find that this is a challenge, but also those people who are not promoting this law are the one who wants to have children because he has his wife at home, maybe he has everything he wants financially, so he thinks that he can't promote women. So of course, we thank the government of Rwanda of promoting this policy, but also it should be in our minds, in the minds of men, in the minds of the stakeholders, the minds of the owner of businesses, so that all together don't think that a woman doesn't want to work, but she has a biological, unchangeable biological thing like giving birth. Of course, you are obliged to take the leave. Or like you can't leave a baby of 2 to 3 months, at least 5 months, at least they should get those favor. That's what I wanted to say.
So do you want to add something now, Dr. Manuel, or you are? Okay, yes.
Okay, thank you. I hope in the concerns of construction, to change that mindset, maybe it will start from the family, because considering the way we raised in our family, like the young boys are have the responsibility to do for those activities that need too much strength to work the work. You say you're going to carry the luggage for the cows. You go to the garden to dig for something. But the women, they told you must stay here. You take care for us. You cook for us after coming from the work. So that things, that issues they raised until they go to, like you said, in the construction. If they go there in the construction and they say they are at for the day, the men they will be paid like 5,000 francs. The women they should pay like 300,000 francs. Because of what? Because of the women, they are unable, like because they raised not doing like hard things. They say like you should do these soft things because you are a woman. So that mindset be like in a culture. So I hope to change that things start from within the family.
Okay.
So that's why she said, or we all say that we should try to change this mindset from our children. We are responsible for our children, so we should, all of us, if in our family, we should start uh changing this mindset from our children. Like you should start telling your children or showing your children to do such kind of job. You have to give responsibility, the same responsibility to both of them. Like none is unable to do this work. You should do this. If you are a girl, as this boy can do that. So this mindset should start with our homes, our families. Thank you.
Exactly. So, and also one of the things that we need to make sure, we need to really know what are these unpaid jobs. One of the things that we are not addressing it. If I'm cooking, this is unpaid job. The cleaning, the take caring of the elder members of the family, taking care of a child with a disability, doing the laundry, any other things that is unpaid. Here we need to really address them, and then here we can say, okay, you are going to do these certain jobs, I'm going to do these certain jobs. I'm just repeating, we don't want to get rid of the values of not doing these jobs, but we need to make sure that we are both are doing equally unpaid jobs. Okay, there are some jobs that he said the men are going to do like different kind of jobs. It's just we need to make sure that we are both spending same hours in these unpaid jobs. And this is going to take us to the care diamond. If we say that we do have these unpaid jobs, some of them are voluntarily outside the home, some of them are inside the home that we have to do, some of them outside the home, but we are doing things for homes like shopping, and some of them, it's like Dr. Manuel was saying, taking children to schools or hospital. So these are the different type of diamond of the non-paid jobs. But we need to make sure that we don't have some people are more in one area and, for example, women are more in one area. Here what I was saying, we don't want to see always men on the volunteer organization and women doing the household. And then I say both of them are equally doing unpaid job. Both of them are spending equal 2 hours, but this 2 hours, he is getting different experience than you. This is going to help him in a different way than you. It's not underestimating that the work you are doing here, it's less valuable, but we need also to exchange the role of unpaid job. Of course, there are lots of websites that help you to calculate the unpaid work. Even if you want to go today and you do it, there are lots of websites, and there is equations here. When you go and you put in your diary how many hours I'm doing this, how many hours Today he was preparing the breakfast for me. He was doing an unpaid. But was okay? But was he doing it for me? No. Now here is the language. Was he doing the breakfast for me or for us? Okay.
For you.
It's for us.
Yeah, you could have made it for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I want him to be your friend.
That's too far, too far, too far.
Okay. Okay, so there are lots of measurements that we can do. So we can calculate what are the paid work we are doing, the unpaid work, and the unpaid care work that also we are doing. So we can know how we calculate our daily diary here when we are working. So we have the layers, and as I emphasizing, we don't want to reach to be like Western country, to forget our values and not to do the unpaid work, but we need to have this path that we are working between paid and unpaid work and care and underpaid work. Here also what you are saying, that sometimes we are paid for this work, but we are underpaid for some work. And here are the stages, if I count them, then we are going to see, and maybe you can see even in lots of our projects that we visited. Dr. Mohammed, what he was saying, they are putting lots of effort in doing a project, but then it's underpaid. They work more, but they don't get higher profit. So also this is going to continue. Maybe you can see that all of our workshops and meetings links to each other. If I say I want to have a fair trade, fair payment for something, I don't want to be underpaid for something. I don't want to spend all of my time in this unpaid work and no one will appreciate it. I want to keep it because it's valuable of me, but I want to be appreciated for this. So, and this what's help countries to be more developed countries. Why in underdeveloped countries? There are lots of factors that push women to do lots of unpaid job, because then the absence, as you say, technology, absence of mindsets. You are very lucky that in Rwanda you have laws. In other African countries, they even don't have these laws to support them. So that's why you see the cases are going.
Even Bahrain doesn't have a law to pay for maternity.
Bala?
That we are paying for maternity.
Yes.
When, how we are paying for maternity?
Always, and Bahrain we have 45, 2 months paid. Rwanda it's 3 months.
Maternity means every organization has to pay as part of our.
Yes. Even
But there's tax system.
no. Yeah, but there the organization is paying. Yeah. No.
It's better. Your policy is better than Bahrain.
No. That's why the policy in Bahrain is better. Here, everyone is paying tax, so the employee will not pay and is paying from everyone else. While in Bahrain, every organization they pay, they don't get paid for this.
Yeah.
La.
No need to listen.
Okay. Yes.
Here, what happened? It's like here, national plan.
Yes, I know.
Umbrella.
Yeah.
There, the organization, let's say University of Bahrain.
Yes.
Who are working in. Okay? If someone goes on maternity leave, the university is going to pay.
Yes.
As if she is working.
Yes.
She's going to pay
paid.
Okay. Here, the government is guaranteeing that.
Even back home, it's guaranteed. But the difference here, it's not the organization is paying, everybody's paying, so a woman gets a payment, as it is extra thing that you pay tax to get paid. Here, for example, from University of Bahrain, you get, no one is paying tax for this, but they have to pay me for maternity.
But this is more advanced.
No, this is everyone is contributing to it.
But it's more sustainable.
Okay, this is here, it's an obligation. If they don't do it, they are going to have a fine of it. يعني it's
Every government have to pay the maternity.
Yes.
But what happened recently?
It's every organization.
Just 2 years maybe. They say every employee has to pay a portion.
Yes.
To money for any woman who will be in
Yes, and lots of other countries, yes, they have it, especially for private government like Jordan and these things. I mean, the less countries have ability to cover this, there is going to be a deductions in some countries, 1%, 2%, and they call it's for the maternity leave, and they pay the woman. But then always when people have an inflation, they go and judge of this cuts because people, they don't want to get higher taxation for these things. While this system guarantees. So it's like different type of dilemmas and
The
studies.
private sector was claiming that they will not hire women because they will not afford 6 months payment of maternity. So private sector was the one who pushed this.
Yes, so they don't take the responsibility. They want the woman, but when she gets anything, they don't want to pay her. They want someone else to pay her. So, yani, this is kind of, it's different methods.
Don't undermine what is Rwanda, not Asham, I'm not saying
Yes.
because Rwanda is here. It's more advanced. And this is like insurance system. It is a national insurance system. There, the organization will pay part of the budget خلاص. They are budgeting for that. And some people, that much percentage they are doing. For private sector, it will be like a burden on them. And this will make them feel they will not take, as she said, women that is might be, married or it's more fair system.
يعني, we call the fairness depend if it's she is doing this role out of responsibility. Okay, because if she decide not to do this, then the nation is going to be
Poor.
ended. All women decided, and that's what we can see in Western countries, that they have these systems need to be built-in, but it's in a different way. Now, our argument today, it's not about how the maternity pays are paid. I mean, in lots of countries, the most important that we do have maternity leaves and it's paid. And either it's by cutting the tax in a direct way by the name of woman or another way, this is the most important thing. Now the argument here, it's the unpaid job that she is doing. I mean, having 2 months and 3 months, we all know it's not enough. And that's why in other more developed countries, it's reached up to 2 years or 1 year, where it's divided between men and women. This is the more developed model in the world, where you can see the first 6 months it's for women and the second 6 months it's men. And here where employee will never think of what you are saying, that I'm not going to employ women because she is going to take this leave. And here where we are making sure that
You can't judge development like this. And this is a very, very feminist point of view. It depends on the culture. In Bahrain, in our culture, still, in our religion, man is responsible for the woman. Okay? You can't say that the man, for example, if he sits home, that he will be responsible, and the woman goes to work. So you can't say that this is development.
Yes.
This is what the Western has put a chip in your mind, saying that.
Okay.
This is against our religion, and I don't accept this as a
Okay. What I'm saying, it's not the minute saying, now he is just quoting the words that he wants to say, and he brought us to a different topic actually. And you came and you take us out of the unpaid job. What's happening in the... Okay, no, I didn't measure, okay, now I didn't say this. I say in the developing country, a man gets paid for this. So it's maternity and paternity leave. Yes, the more you have paternity leave, the less you are going to face these problems. Now, one of our problems that we are not having paternity leaves, because we don't have paternity leaves, women are doing these unpaid jobs.
No, you are right, because for instance in Belgium, when I was studying in Belgium, they used to pay me 200 euros for my clothes at the time.
The same when I was in UK, same.
So it means
It's
that
for the milk, they call it milk.
milk, yes. And there is a woman who was pregnant, she gave birth to, it was Uganda. When she gave birth, the government gave her in the hospital 1,000 euros buy materials for the. These are, of course, some of the developed countries adopted to think of unpaid job risks. At least they say, as far as you are a mother, or as far as you are a mother, or you have other social burden, we consider that for national interest also, but also for unpaid
Yes.
work you are doing.
Okay, but this is also taking us to another topic, but in these countries also, because they have a problem of fertility rates, and they want to encourage bringing children, so that's why they are also doing some of these agendas. So there are always different stories and different continents. But when we come back to our topic, women are working in more unpaid job. And this is even in our religion, even if we go to an Islam, it's not allowed. In Islam, even a woman feeding her own children, she can ask the men to get paid for this job.
Why?
This is, nobody differ with that, that's true. Okay, that's.
Yes, because there is nothing defined as unpaid job. I should be appreciated for every single thing I do, or we do it equally together. And this is how it is in all religions, I believe. I'm not specifying now certain things. There is no religion says that women should work more unpaid and men should be paid for everything that they are doing. But it depends how people interpret these religions and they action it as something else.
In Islam, woman is obliged to take care of the baby until 2 years.
But she can be paid for this. Ask her husband. And she can say, I will not do it if you will not pay me.
This is feminist again.
لا صاير مو انت دخلتني في موضوع ثاني ما كنت بتحكي عن الاسلام مو انا ما تحكيت عن الاسلام انت اللي تحكيت عن الاسلام انا ولا كلمه okay and yes for the whole time you were not here I didn't bring the name of the religion you started the name of religion and that's why and this is not being feminist this is written in our religion books. It's not something that I'm bringing at all. Yes.
Because everything evolves from the biblical perspective.
Yes,
That's
so
all
again,
the theory.
we disagree.
Yes.
The woman will not do her obligation because she's not paid. That's something.
No, and this was no. And here I started. No.
It's a nature obligation.
Okay.
No woman will desert her. If her husband is not good, he's not paying her. No woman will desert her child because she say you are not paying me for that.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what
No. Okay. No. It's just so we don't go out of the dialogue. With some people are coming. The first statement I started this dialogue with that we should differentiate between the biological rule and the cultural rule. This is what I started the first things. Okay, I'm not talking about now religion. There are different things between what I have to do as a biologically and what I have to do with the other rules. There is no religion or somewhere in the religion says on any religion that it's woman's duty to cook. It's woman's duty to clean the home. No any religion. Okay? But our culture is interpreted. But who's going to get the birth? It's woman. This is a biological role. That's why we should appreciate this role that she's having it and we support it so we don't get other problems that we can see in other countries and nations they are having it because this was not counted as an important role. And here where we need to different, we shouldn't mix the things together in a way and we use them. I mean, the biological role is to bring the children, but it doesn't mean that woman is responsible for this child on everything. From the first day she was in, she got it in her, she bring the birth until the last day that the child is death. Some roles it's her roles biologically, but the others it's a shared responsibility that both of them need to do.
Yes.
And not doing it, it's giving to have a problems for the whole country and the continents and the nations and everything. And this is agreed in all different religions and countries. Yes, where is the mic? Yes. Yes.
I wanted
Yes.
I wanted to connect this, the topic that we have of today, the unpaid job and lost opportunities. I think that's the way
Yes.
we phrased it. If we have the unpaid jobs for both men and women who do them co in a connecting way, the just one job that fills up the gap for another, and another for men fill a gap for another man. So we also have, if there is also there are some opportunities that are lost due to these unpaid jobs not connecting. If they don't come to collision together, then if you could at least show us the lost opportunities, if we still have time, and you show us the lost opportunities about these unpaid jobs, how they cohabitate together.
Yes, and here where I was trying to show in the previous slides, when we work in more unpaid job, that's mean we have less time to do the paid job. And here where we get lots of losers. Maybe the example that I was saying, when the government spend lots of money in women education and women to get in work, and then she got retired earlier or she resigns from work because of the pressure of the unpaid job. This is how the money, it's like the government's money is going into the drainage and to the trash, and it's not valuable. But, and again, as I said earlier, we shouldn't underestimate the unpaid job because someone has to do it. And here where we need to flip with between both men and women doing these jobs together. We don't want to get, I'm emphasizing in this maybe now the 10th time I'm saying it, we don't want to get rid of the values and not to do these unpaid jobs. We want to keep them up, but we want to share them equally between men and women. Otherwise, it will be if both of them are going to do it, it's going to be a win-win opportunity. We are not going to have a loss opportunity. She's going to have appraisal in her work. He's going to have appraisal in his work. They are going to have a better even generations coming. While if we keep it always on the woman or in one partner doing this unpaid job, in the long run, there is a lose for the family, for the economy, for the countries, even how the country can be improved and developed. I think you wanted to say something, or no? Okay, so, and here where we are emphasizing that there are different scenarios. One scenario, what I was saying, it's not going, we can't, as I was saying earlier, we can't just copy the Western models. I mean, each country has its own model of counting the unpaid job and how they want to let it to be shared. I mean, the natural of economic growth, the way of education, the type of different social protections that different families and countries having, all these need to be counted when I want to count how we should share this unpaid job. So we don't lose lots of opportunities from this. So the non-recognized part of women contributions forms the core of women unpaid work. So here's our main thing, and that's why we need to have a real understanding of what is the unpaid work. I mean, when we don't understand this, and we take that all these unpaid jobs, it's like a guaranteed that a woman should do, and we put it under different titles and names, and we are not counting that men should be doing other unpaid job or any part of the, it's not always men and women, it's also maybe the example you say is rural and urban areas. That's okay, if I'm a high skilled woman from an urban area, so I should get paid for everything I do, while if someone coming from a rural area, and because they are unskilled, they are going to be unpaid of lots of the jobs they do. I underpaid them because they are not going to be able to call for their rights. Here also there is a loss opportunities, and here where the projects we are doing are trying to emphasize N. So we need really to define and identify and recognize these unpaid different jobs that we are doing. And if we don't do this, we are going to have these lost opportunity on this. And here we are going to have different implications on this. So because not counting these unpaid jobs, this is going to increase poverty in the world. I mean, you can see wherever we have less or equal distribution of unpaid work, there you are going to see less poverty. The more you are going to see unbalance between the unpaid job between different parties and different people, you are going to have more poverty there, and then even the earning are not going to be equal, as we can say, and that's going to have lots of division and more increase this gender gap, and where the cycle of unpaid work is going to continue with the girls and women, and we are not going to go out of this chain of poverty that we are trying to reduce. So that's why I'm saying we need to recognize, reduce, redistribute. And this is maybe the main thing if I want to go out of this round table. It's maybe the second thing that I'm saying. Dr. Emmanuel, you want to say something?
Yes, on that point.
On this recognize, reduce.
Poverty. On that point of reducing poverty, I had something interesting yesterday when I was it you or something? I don't remember. On a radio, we were driving. On a radio, one radio asked people to give ideas. They said if you were a special advisor to the president now, what would you advise him to do? It was open debate radio. One said, if I'm an advisor, I could tell him that the domestic workers in Rwanda are less paid or paid little. So they should, government should add on the little to them. I mean, if they are paid 20,000, 20K, maybe the government can increase up to 30K or 40K, and also provide artisanal or vocational work to increase their skills. That was the best of the ideas I had about.
Well, there is here no minimum.
No.
Okay.
It's a negotiable from 15K to 30 to 100, depending on the capacity of the boss. I mean, yes, yeah. But generally, most of them claim that they are not getting enough salary, and it's understandable. And he was requesting stakeholders of development, including government, to provide some skills, maybe driving license, maybe technical skills to domestic workers, and add them some money on their boss's money. That is relevant to someone paid or underpaid job.
Okay, so if we can hear now last word from each one, how do they think about their unpaid, no, don't close it. Okay, how do you think about your unpaid job? Are you going? Sorry? Now, just the last words from each one. How are you counting? Are you still, at the beginning I asked you the first thing, are you doing unpaid job? Some of you said yes or no. Okay, now how do you think of it?
So, from what we have discussed on, unpaid work exists and they have to be performed also, as we don't have anything to replace them. It's my home, I have to help it, helping myself and helping my family, as we said. So it's a matter of changing our mindset and making an agreement, like not an agreement, but discussing it discussing about it with my partner, so that we can arrange it. If it doesn't work, I mean, countrywide or worldwide, it's the time for the police to work.
From a viewpoint of the concern, I think that they can give it 50-50. Because I observed that taking only paid jobs is not sustainable according to some developed countries we can see, for example. But if we take, for instance, our experience as an African continent, as a Rwandan country, we can see that the government of Rwanda is trying to get solutions based on our traditions, or we can say call it a religion. So I'm going on that view of 50-50. Thank you.
Okay, basing on the topic here, I could say that the unpaid jobs are many, and it counts an individual to see what qualities of an unpaid job can be done depending on the values and social potentials that are available. What I get from here is that me as an individual, I could use my time and effort to see the different gaps that are there for unpaid jobs, and also to sensitize others about the consequences, the good effects of unpaid jobs, despite that it's not unpaid, but it's consequential paid in long term or in short term.
Thank you. After this session, I now know that I have a package that like most unpaid job is domestic works. So it's my responsibility. I'm not doing someone's favor. It's my responsibility to do so. And I have a responsibility to teach my children to do so, that there is no person who is responsible for this kind of job. So all of them are candidates to do this kind of unpaid work. Thank you.
So thank you. After this session, I've been briefed that just unpaid job, it's just like a responsibility, as a sister says. But also, before concluding my understanding, I have a question. Me also, I'm not married. I'm a serious student. How can I define unpaid job aligning with lost opportunity? I have some under Rowan, I know how to express it, but I have some confusion. Yeah, I have some confusion about it. I've been discussing the issues of biological situation by aligning with the women and the men, but also me, I'm not married. How can manage it? Just to balance it in my situation in everyday life. Because before I start the session, it says that most of the time I spend much as time on volunteering activity as a categorizing as a unpaid job. How comes with that situation?
I don't know if I got your questions right, but here where we talked about also volunteer work, the responsibility, you brought the example of Umaganda, you brought examples of lots of other things. These are all type of unpaid jobs that we do it. I mean, maybe the woman role with a family, it's a clearer example to give, but also we give some other examples. And here where Isa, he started, he say, I'm getting paid for every single job. And he meant by payment here, it's the knowledge you get out of this different unpaid jobs that you give. You do, I mean, when I do unpaid job, I work with the NGO, but I'm not getting direct payment, but I'm getting different experiences out of it.
Recognition.
recognition, experience, connections, network, you can name it. So there are different type of way that not everything is counted direct payments. And that's why now lots of economies, lots of countries, they are counting it and they are doing every 10 years in their census the time, the unpaid work they counted, because they counted this into the economies. Now, example, now think of Rwanda, how many NGOs are there and what are their different roles. If one day all these NGOs closed and none of them doing their roles, isn't it going to affect the economy? Isn't it going to affect lots of people who are benefiting out of these volunteer works? And here where we say we want to keep this volunteer works, we want to keep all these unpaid jobs. Think of one day all of women decided not to do all their roles. How is the economy going to be affected? How are these countries going to survive? So all of us are doing, but we
need to balance.
We need to balance it, and we need always to do it. No one need to be selfish and be behind and say, I will not work this because I will always get busy in doing the things that I want to get learned from.
Thank you.
I hope
Thank you. What I gain from this roundtable is to be like unpaid job. They are learning in our community. What I learn, firstly, you were talking about families. Me, I'm single. I don't have my spouse. I don't have anyone. But what I learned, I should change my mindset. Like teaching others why they should be responsible with that, because you're going to save the future. Because if you don't do in that in lifetime, maybe the future will be worse to your children, to your neighbors, to others. So that's what I can say about what I gained from this roundtable. But I have concerns, like in the rural areas, I see there is a man who doing the professional work, because here in Rwanda, like 70% of many women are in agriculture sectors, many of them. So, and they used to go in the garden like from 8 to 12, like doing their work, and the man they are doing the professional work like from 6 to 12 to like 17. So I have the issues like how you say unpaid work, but if the man is like working at a higher time, but women are like working like 5 hours and go to take care for the family. So is that unpaid work for women? So I have concern for that. Because the man are working like 12 hours and the women are working like 4 hours or 5 hours and they go to take care for the families. So I don't know if that woman is doing unpaid work. But if they are in a family, both they want to work for the family, they want to raise their economic for their family. I don't know.
Yes, this is like the debate we talked about it, and maybe his example was good for it. And here where we talked about also the paid and underpaid work, because women, we think that women are working in underpaid work, so we let them work less hours. So in the long run, professionally, they are going to be in less higher position, while men all want to work always in a higher paid work. So that's why they will have less time for the unpaid work. So it's a continuous type of
بس يعني you can't say that for example can't say that the women are not trying to go for higher paid job. Categorizing. We don't have, we differ on the issue of unpaid work, but don't put it as a stigma or as a must. It is only women issue. Okay, and this is why this is confusing both for even anybody who listen. No, it is not about women issue. It's about unpaid work.
yes,
This is our
yes,
issue. Today, whatever I attended, 90% they are talking about women.
yes, yeah,
Or even
yeah.
99%.
Okay.
Talk about unpaid work. Unpaid work is an issue later, which when my time comes, I will comment on this.
Okay.
Why we are fighting unpaid work? Okay. Because you have to do voluntary work, but also unpaid work, which is not voluntary, is not legal because it's not human rights. This is what we'll talk about later.
Thank you so much for this dialogue. It's a very, very interesting. And I've gained something that I didn't know before. First of all, I don't have to agree with each and everyone. Me, I don't believe that unpaid jobs do not exist. I do not believe that they exist. Because we are saying that unpaid job exists because our minds are used to that. The payment is only money. But on another side, we are being paid in indirect way. Let me give you example. When you said about unpaid jobs, we referred to Muganda. Look, take a look here. This is a people in my village who are doing Muganda. This bridge.
This is better development than trade.
Yes, yes. If you calculate the money that these people would be given for this service, it's a bridge, yeah. It's in my village. It would be less than the value of this bridge. This bridge would cost too high, and according to how they will need it. They will need it for at least 10 years. But the money that would be given do not even be the daily dinner, the dinner for one day. Which means the value of the job is higher than what they will be paid. But we are going to get unpaid. So they are paid. So what we call payment is a matter of perception. The way our minds are used to, what are used to call payment is only the money, but in reality, everything you do, we are paid. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So
and we brought the example of
Yes,
Uganda
yes.
for us. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
We are not against what you are saying,
yes.
but in reality, let's focus on economic empowerment of the entire family.
Yeah.
If it comes to that, let's give an example. He told us how he take care of his children. That's a big. I don't know how you can even rate it. It's more paying than leaving the children to the maids, Sibyo,
Okay. Yeah.
for the long term. Because the values, the discipline, everything the kids are going to be equipped with are more valuable than any work you can perform that is paying. But later on, let's consider that they both have a paying work. One earns 500,000, another one maybe earns 300,000. It's 800,000 for the home. If their children were supposed to attend the public school, now that they are both working, maybe they are going to admit to enroll him or her in a private school who is giving a better education. Do you think is that less valuable?
No, it's
Let's
not.
let's say yes. I prefer, because if you think in that way, I agree with you. Everything is paying, but also if we focus on only one perspective, on one aspect of economy, it's a different matter.
Okay, so it means that when you refer to payment, you're not referring to financial one. Okay, that's clear. And now I agree as you see, we are concluding our dialogue. So I agree with my boss. He said that the only unpaid job is illegal job. Thank you. Illegal job. Yeah, illegal job. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. First of all, I want to ask a question about lost opportunity. I didn't hear about lost opportunity, so I want to hear something about lost opportunity because I was somehow late. I don't know. Before
Okay.
adding something, so I want to
Yeah, all these statistics were all about lost opportunities, no? When we are having less women, they are working more and unpaid. they are less representative in the employment, when they have less access to this. These are lost opportunities because were busy, they are working more hours and other things, so they have lost opportunities. When I talked about the payment here, for example, the representation in the labor force. So here it's lost opportunities. Okay.
Almost 22, 20.
Yes, and when we talked about the gap, these are all the lost opportunities that we are taking. And maybe the first slide I started with, it's the lost opportunities, that the importance of this unpaid, that if we wanted to pay all the unpaid work, we would have paid $200 billion. So here is the lost opportunities, that we should keep these unpaid jobs, but we need to distribute them equally.
Can you bring back the lost opportunity graph?
Okay.
Thank you. I just have got something. So before I proceed, we just focus on family, on married, but we didn't talk about unmarried. So I want to ask someone who is not married.
The three next to you.
Do you sometimes do unpaid work? Yeah. Every day. Every day. It's better if you continue doing, because women are not machines, but just again in this life. Because after all, a woman will do such things whole day, and at evening you will need her. I have a concern. Why? It depends like an economy. No, it's not in economy exactly. Most of unpaid job is for women, as we take it in our head, right? For example, if a woman has a job and the man is a jobless, who will be responsible for unpaid work? If you rely on your if you rely on your mind and your character, you just sat down and doing nothing. If you rely on your character, right? Do you get me? If you are a jobless and your wife just is working, right? If you rely on your character, right, you will not do anything. Should we come and just ask? Should we come and just find out that you didn't do anything because of your character, right? It's for women, everything. Cooking is. But it depends. Me, I have that. It depends on the way the woman are raised. Like the several.
Exactly.
Because if the woman are not occupied, so what is your perception about that? If you are a jobless and your wife is just working, what would be your perception?
Because I hope to have a family is like to work together. If I have a job and my woman,
If you don't have a job,
if I don't have a job and my woman have a job, so I have a responsibility to work for my family, like to work for my household in order to get the development. So yeah, if the woman goes to work, me I stay home and I arrange everything. I take care for the babies because right now I have that responsibility.
That is
Because
what I
I'm
want to
the
hear
man
from
to
you.
take care for.
That is what I want to hear from you. You will not sit and just waiting for her to come and cook for you. You will not do that.
Yes. But I hope that to see it's no definition of getting family.
Of course. That is what I want to hear from you. So if you do that unpaid jobs now as an unmarried, right? It is better if you continue just doing it, even if you get married, because a woman is not a machine just of the who has who has to do everything for you, because she come so that you can make a family.
But and you can't make a family.
Of course, she come. You have you. You are here and she's there to make family. Okay. Thank you.
The student can be very nice, but yes.
Yes, I think unpaid job, to say the least, unpaid job is a serious matter that we have to consider, whether for women or men, as we consider. Yeah, but we have also to note that unpaid job exists only for money, no. Yeah, our institute is not mostly capital-based institute. We recognize that there are other social payments. If I if I take care of my community, it doesn't mean it is not paying. It is paying, but indirectly. But as long as we need also to think of income, for personal income or whatever, we need to consider also individual level payments. Yeah, at least decent life for people to get decent life. I mean, life that can be considered as valuable, where a person can buy shirt or shoes. Those women also and men who are doing unpaid job work need also shoes, need also t-shirt. We have to consider both, but not considering only money as capital or just only the basis for survival. Thank you.
Well, unfortunately, there is no time. I wanted to explain more about how we see this from socio-economic point of view. Not taking the, let's say, whatever CEDAW, which is Dunya was working with them also, opinion. Because what CEDAW has done, they created a structure that is created more problems in families and all over the world. Let us go back to the name of the workshop or the round table. Okay, unpaid jobs. There is jobs that is available, or there is people are doing work, not a job. Moganda is not a job; it's a work. Someone have to do it. And instead of bringing a company, like Isa was saying, the community decided to do it, and the government is encouraging that. That itself is part of the socio-economy. Number one. Number two, if woman is working or a man working and voluntary, and he's happy about that without being paid, it means either he's happy about that without awareness, which is not fair, or he or she, okay, or they are happy because they are not doing it for the people. They're doing it for the community. They're doing it for God, maybe. There is calculations that is taught, a lot of calculations. For that, I will differ in any country. Any community, I will challenge any community, they can calculate the unpaid job. Okay? It depends on the awareness. And I can see I gone to many countries around the world. I entered countries where women is used like animals. They bring the water every day, and they don't go to school. And now in this in Africa, I can tell you, still it is in the sub-Saharan, it's a lot. Even in South Africa, which is developed country considered to be, you find many communities that women does not go to work because they are used like donkeys, with all the respect. Now this is wrong. We focus here on women and we try to solve. By the way, 90% of our project is with women. You know, our project to break poverty, whether in Mauritania, whether in Morocco, whether in Ghana. You know the stories. I think if you Google ours, you'll see that they are women. Okay, for two reasons. First of all, the women in Africa is better than men in working. Okay, that's for sure. Okay, and the woman really is support the household. This does not apply in Arab countries, by the way. Does not apply, especially in the Gulf. Women highly paid. Some of them is more paid than the men. And they use it for what? They use it for cosmetics and majority. They don't use it for the house, and for that they are most of the media, most of the campaigns for women about lipsticks, about this. So we need to know what we are talking about. We are talking about unpaid job. Unpaid jobs means we need more awareness. What type of jobs you are doing? You want to do voluntary. I'm sure now for we don't have this culture like Rwanda, which is very good, Muganda, okay, or Odehe, huh? These things we don't have in our country. We wish we have. We don't have the social connection, okay? So that's very important. If people are aware about what type of unpaid job people unhappy about, and for Isa, I'm sure he's doing many things unpaid, he's happy about. And he don't want to, and if you pay him as if you are undermining, maybe he will be happy for payment. I know, but if you pay him, he start to undermine what he's doing. Example, he's teaching, for Islamic teaching, okay, from his religion. This he's doing voluntary. He want to do that. He's learning. He's paying money for someone to learn from him, maybe over the Zoom. But then he take that and he teach his village. That is what. That is not unpaid job. This is highly paid job because he's doing it for the hereafter. He's not doing it for this life. He's doing it for later. He want to get more rewards. Okay. So Let's not confuse an unpaid job. It's based on definition. Well, the status I told you. For example, now the women in Morocco also they work all the day as they don't go to school again. They work on wool related products. Okay. What is the dangers about? Why are we seeing this as a problem? They have good skills. They were helping their mother, and the men they are going to work on the village. But both of them, I consider them to be in danger of unpaid. You know why? Because they don't have insurance. And so when they grow up older, if they stay in the same community, if they don't develop and the country does not develop them, when they grow about 70 years old, they start to be asking people for help because it depends on their muscles and their capacity to bring things. So see, these things need to be taken care. You can't just say, and nobody can calculate unpaid job. Okay, let's be fair. This is all political issues. It's used for political driven agendas. Okay, we now know we are suffering now in our country from lesbians or whatever what they call them. Okay, gays and so on because of these things that start to enter. Okay, first they separated men and women because of this issue. Then they came and they now talk about there's someone can take a third type of sex. Okay, this all creates. So we need to be very careful. We need always to think about the culture. We need to think about the religion, and then we apply this according to our needs. Okay, we expect governments top down, a bottom up approach is that governments will ensure minimum fairness. Okay, for example, women supposed to have forever if her husband does not give her rights. Okay, for example, the government will interfere or government will pay her whether maternity or without maternity. I'm talking about general thing. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is that we don't break the cycle of the woman role. Man cannot play the role of the woman. Let's be fair. And now you say child feeding. Am I good? I'll be good in child feeding. Okay. No. See, even child feeding. See, what is this? What happened? Even for diseases in our country, the women used to have the women used to feed breast the child, especially in the first 2 years. We lost that because of this issue, equality like this. Okay, and what will happen? People are weak. They're getting antibiotics more. Okay, see, be careful, Tara. We are not. We should not take things, and it's not a stick that you can cut things. Okay, there is a place where you cut here. You say no, just a minute here. Is this going to create better family stability? And I tell you now, what means this? If we go unpaid job like this, okay, women is paid more than men in our country. Okay, in most countries now they are paid and they are becoming higher position. Are they taking the role of the family responsibility? They are making servants. Who's taking care of the children? Servants. You don't want to see Rwanda like this. Now we are trying to solve the problem. We got people who don't speak Arabic. They speak Filipino. They speak Indian. Okay. You don't want to end up because of issue because they enter in this way. Okay. We have to be always careful in what we are talking about. Lost opportunity. Now let's go to the lost opportunity. What means lost opportunity? I lose my life I'm contributing as a woman or a man for something. Okay? When I get older, I'm not getting paid because I can't deliver. And this is what we've seen in the Potter community. What we said in the Potter community, when we visit the Potter community, the whole family is working not less than 12 hours a day. Not the guy who's selling the pots. The whole family is working like, with all the respect, for them, like animals all day, and they are getting peanuts. Okay, we need to break this chain. This is a lost opportunity that we need to what to break it. Okay, not to make it a lost opportunity. So this is what you think. This is what means unpaid. They are unpaid, low paid. So by the way, low paid is also similar to unpaid. People are very low paid. They'll end up to as if they are not paid. Okay, or again voluntary, like Lisa is doing. Okay, I'm doing now that I'm opening this institute. I'm not paid. 24 hours I'm working. Okay, I'm not paid, but I'm doing it voluntarily. Okay, because I believe it's giving me recognition. She's doing now for SIAS, she's coming. I'm not paying her as not because she's my wife. She's getting recognition. Sometimes she tell me you're not paying me. I tell her no, you're getting recognition. Worldwide, your name. Otherwise, it will stay in Bahrain. Okay, no, seriously, everything we should calculate. What does it mean, paid or unpaid? Okay, يعني now even these guys they come. Okay, they are not paid. They are always attending our. Are they not getting knowledge? Are getting recognition? Are getting more recognition? They made. I'm talking about EduConnect because they are coming because we trust them. We made with them partnership, affiliation, and so on. So everything have to be calculated in different ways and defining things in a proper way. And I think one of the things that we need always to think about out of this workshop, don't be gender biased. Okay, we are not against women. We are not against men. Okay, it is not the issue of women and men. Okay, currently, majority of people who are underpaid or less paid is women. But this is a human issue. It's not now this status. Tomorrow, do you want to have more women more paid than men? Do you think you'll have more family stabilities? Will it work for your families? You'll have more women. I'll tell you now what's happening also in our country because of such things, such ideas that are brought from the West and we want to apply it directly. Okay, more women they are not married. More women they are not married. They get to 40s, 50s, and they are not married. Is this normal in any community? So this is what they want. They want less fertility. And by the way, now fertility ratio. Where is they will hit after they are hitting now Palestine? Where they want to hit the West? They want to hit you here. The highest fertility is here still. The others they can't bring children. They are paying now. They are coming back now. They want to pay people to bring children. Okay, so be careful. And this is a very socio-political issue. Okay, we have to be very careful in what we are talking about. Definition of what unpaid job, what tabai. Calculation is not doesn't work. I see. I am a guy who put strategies, and I go for difficult areas to measure. Not easy to go for a family and say you calculate your work with your husband. Okay, you start to bring problems because it's endless. Okay, everyone will say I did this, I did that, I did this. Put just a paper for one day and calculate who did what. You see, it is a problem. Not a month, not a year, not forever. Okay, and what Bosco said, that is true. Don't go in this detail. Women working in the morning, and I've seen this in the best communities. Okay, working in the morning in the village. Okay, and then afternoon they start to cook. They go back. This is family stability. This is what it means family coherence, by the way. Okay, and they go back to. I remember one of the best factories I did in Pune. Pune is in India. Okay, very popular. Pune is best even universities there. Okay, the women they work on the morning in the field, afternoon, and their husband they work in the factory. This factory afternoon the women go and work on the factory, and men they go back to house to work in the house. So this is by the way a comprehensive society and so on. Okay, and this is what we need. We need societies that see that this is something that is coherent. Sometime we have to sacrifice. See, in humanity, someone have to sacrifice. If his wife say, I will not take, I want to work like you, I want to compete with you, I want to be a professor. Okay, we will pay for the children. Who will be losing? Is the husband or the wife? Both. Okay, they lose the identity of the children. He can bring someone else who can. Yeah. So remember, tara, this is all. It's about compensation. Okay, the compensation here comes in different ways. This is my comment, and we can go on and on because I have very, yani, as I told you, majority of our work is with women because we felt in the women skills, not because also women underpaid or something. No, I didn't see that. I didn't calculate that. But I clearly for me in Africa, the man is sitting, for example, maybe not in Rwanda, but I can tell you in Ghana, in the north, okay, man is sitting all day. He's maybe smoking or drinking or something, sitting like this, and the woman is doing the product, the production. I'm not talking for the house. I'm talking even the production. Okay. Yeah, same thing. Okay. So I think most of the south, south or sub-Saharan is like this, and this is where we need to. No, we can't change it directly. We can't tell the man now, no, you should work, and she said no. But what we can do, we support her with projects, we bring solutions for that. So we see the picture from the big picture, maintaining the cultural change step by step, and not pushing towards things that is no, the religion does not say that. No, we don't know about the religions. Each religion have its own, calculations and so on. What we know, and we need to support whoever underpaid or not paid by different means. And what is I'm worried about? And with time, we will not have unpaid. Okay, but we will have many family instabilities. Okay, something sacrificing something on something much bigger. Okay, because of this mindset that we are talking about. Thank you very much.
Thank you for these words. And I think most of what he said, we've mentioned in a way or another in our talk, the parts he missed. But thank you for emphasizing on whatever we said. And as we said, unpaid job, as we emphasize, we don't want to get rid of unpaid jobs. And we brought good examples of what's happening in the Westerns because they are trying to get rid of it. We want to keep the good values of it, but also we want to get rid of the bad sides of it so we don't get underpaid or not paid for lots of other jobs. So thank you a lot for this. I think we talked a little bit longer time, and we are ready for the coffee break.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Founder of SIAS, Mohammed for this, by the way, is a good employer.
Really?
If you many times, and like that.
We need to record that.
Yeah,
They need to record.
yeah. I was saying that we give a clap to Dr. Dunia for this interesting workshop on unpaid job. And also we thank Dr. Mohamed Buheji, the founder of SIAS, for this opportunity. I was mentioning that he is a good employer, by the way, because he pays on time, and even here we have different people who we are working with, like Eddie Connect. It's an NGO of youth. They are partners with us. They have project to teach. Yes. Yeah.
Connect is a good example.
Yes. Yes.
Connect is a good example of overcoming unpaid job. Very good example since we are talking about that. Then they are starting. They are students, and they are starting early, not to wait for paid jobs. So they are doing their own business and helping also youth to avoid to wait for paid jobs. So they are more of job creators, which is again very good example.
And that is what we are intending to do, even with Koporwa, which is represented here also by our sister. And we are initiating that they can get payment from the work they do through upcoming project to raise up their earning from the pottery for modern pottery cooperatives they supervise. Yeah, we have a lot of opportunities to engage people to work. Even we have a new part-time worker who will be starting in September. Yeah, and most of you people, you know that SIAS want to upgrade always living condition, but not forgetting our families, our community stability, and development in general. So give a clap again to this family which is bringing SIAS in Rwanda and also bringing a good change so that we can progress. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.
And see you next time. We will invite you for the next workshop.
And please, you can also.